Well, hi. Today is Friday, December 13th, 2024. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. Coming up in just a little bit, I was on location to record a conversation with Garrent Prichard of GT Motors to learn a little bit more about our new sponsor and talk to him about that big giant Christmas tree they have up on their awning in front of their lot. So all of that is coming up on this show. Also, I thought, well, since today is Friday the 13th, it got me curious about where the origins of Friday the 13th being so unlucky came from. So I did a little research, and here is what I was able to discover. And fortunately, I no longer have to go to a big giant catalog of encyclopedias. I can just Google this stuff. Yeah, I'm Gen X. That's how things used to be written back in the day. So this is what I've discovered, that the superstition surrounding Friday the 13th, it's kind of rooted in a combination of historical events, religious associations, cultural myths. So here's an overview of the origins. The number 13 has long been considered unlucky in Western culture, and it says that it may stem from an association with imbalance or irregularity, as it follows the perfect number of 12. You know, the 12 months in a year, 12 zodiac signs, 12 days of Christmas. But if you think about it, 12 days of Christmas, I mean, with Christmas coming up in 12 days, that means that's the year that it falls on Friday the 13th. So I don't know if that holds a lot of water. Also, there are biblical references to the number 13 being unlucky, including in Christianity. At the Last Supper, Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus, was the 13th guest. So that helped contribute to the idea of the number 13 being bad luck. Also, Friday is also considered an unlucky day by some. And again, from the religious aspect in Christianity, Friday viewed as unlucky, as that was the day that Jesus was crucified. Also, in older texts, there is some suggestions that such major calamities, including the fall of Adam and Eve, occurred on a Friday. I don't know who had the calendar out to check on that. So you put the two together, Friday and the 13th, and then it's got its own things that happened on that day, including mass arrest of the Knights Templar by King Philip IV of France. That took place on October 13th, which was a Friday, in 1307, and also getting more traction in the late 19th and 20th centuries, partly popularized by Thomas W. Lawson's 1907 novel, Friday the 13th. I don't think he's the one that wrote the movies, but it depicted a stock market crash orchestrated on that day. And then in pop culture, of course, you've got the movies Friday the 13th, the horror film franchise, and there's certain phobias, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. You can look those up. It's about 150 words or 150 letters in these words, and I'd just embarrass myself. So all of that to be said, that the superstition around Friday the 13th seems to be a blend of historical, religious, cultural factors that evolved over centuries. And what does that leave us? Well, they say Friday the 13th is unlucky. So I don't know. I have never really had too many bad things. Let me knock on wood and throw some salt over my shoulder here, and just to make sure that nothing bad happens from that. Just Sue Creative is another one of our sponsors here on Morning Coffee. And Sue Pitts began this project and this new company of hers earlier this year. And if you go to justsuecreative.com, you can learn all about everything that she can do for your business, whether you need your website created. And she's a genius at search engine optimization inside of these websites. She's been helping businesses do all of this for the last 20 years when she was with the Small Business Development Center. Now she's out doing it on her own. So she can take all of that experience, all of that expertise, and all the different people that she worked with back then. She has so many real world examples that she's now bringing into her own business. So go to justsuecreative.com and reach out to her and see what she can do for your business. Also, it's Friday, and that means at the mile away, it's a 2 for $22. Here's what you get. You get to pick an appetizer and then 2 entrees, which the entrees each come with tots or fries, all of that for $22. You can't beat that price. Always a lot of fun on Fridays at the Mile Away. They're located on Old Lincoln Highway, north of Council Bluffs. So head on out there. Tell them Todd sent you. Chances are they're going to know who you're talking about. I'm out there quite a bit. All right. We need to head on out onto Broadway on the 20th block. Learn a little bit more about GT Motors.
This is Garrent Prichard, GT Motors, on Broadway in Council Bluffs, and it's been great getting to know you. And
You as well.
thank you for being such a supporter of Morning Coffee and everything that we're doing with that. And also in return, we get to give you a little bit of support with this. And I've been looking around. You got some pretty nice cars on your lot here right now.
Yeah, not too bad. Try to get the nicest ones possible. So. As long as they fit in the budget.
Right, as long as and that's, I've never been to one of those car auctions that you go to. I know that you go to a lot of those to be able to pick up cars, and you're kind of working against other dealers at the same time.
Yeah,
I don't know how widespread one of these auctions are.
It just depends on which auction you go to. I go to probably 3 a week. There's one in Lincoln, one in Omaha, one in Des Moines that I like to hit. I mean, anywhere from 50 to 100 dealers, probably.
Okay.
I mean, on average, they're running 400 to 1,000 cars a week. So it's definitely an adrenaline rush if you're not used to it, I guess.
Right.
So.
And then, obviously, getting stuff transported back. So if it's a long ride, are you just looking for 1 or 2 cars, or do you have to figure that in?
No, I got a transport guy. He'll just transport them back on a 3-car wedge trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on the week how many I buy. You know, like this week, I could probably buy another 10 and be happy, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. So.
All right, well, and you've been here a couple of years now, right, in this
Yep.
location?
2 years as of August.
How has it been being out on Broadway? A lot of traffic coming up and down. Has that been a help?
Yeah. So, I told you, my father's been doing the business for the last 30 years, and we've been in a couple different places, and never on Broadway until the last 2 years, and I think it's definitely better. I mean, you don't have to advertise as hard per se, just
Right.
because of all the traffic up and down the street, but I think it's definitely probably the best location so far.
In some industries, wintertime, things getting cold really has an effect.
It does.
Is that the same in the car industry?
It's hit or miss. I mean, there's years that we see it slow down a little bit in the winter. Last month was kind of slow, but you got to factor in holidays and stuff. You know, you got Thanksgiving in November. Everybody's spending money on travel or
Right.
family, stuff like that. Same thing with December. You got Christmas and the New Year coming up. Usually January and February start to pick up, though, with tax time. You know, everybody's anticipating a tax return. And I mean, winter has a little bit of a dampener on stuff, too, just because it's cold. You know, not a lot of people want to go car shopping when it's 20 degrees outside. And I don't blame them, because I don't want to be out there either. But
Right. Is there a more popular style out right now? I mean, SUV versus just a sedan, or is it more just personal taste?
I would say it's probably more personal taste, and it's more what a person needs too. You know, we kind of try to aim towards more what the customer needs versus wants. We get a lot of people in here that have kids,
Right.
so they need either a large SUV or a small SUV to put their kids in. And then we get some younger people in here that are just looking for something to get them back and forth to work. Like a small sedan that's a little more affordable and something that, they don't have to put people in the back or whatever. We do a lot of trucks as well, too. I myself like selling trucks just because they kind of sell themselves.
Right.
Most people that come in to buy a truck know what they want already. So you don't really have to persuade them into buying something. But yeah, it's more just personal preference. So
Talk about your background a little bit, because you are from Council Bluffs. You're a local
Correct.
guy, and
Yep.
you have made the decision to stay. So obviously, you feel a definite tie
Yeah,
to being
yeah.
in Council Bluffs and in this area.
yeah, I mean, I don't think the market's ever going to disappear as far as the Council Bluffs side of it goes. It's kind of weird. Council Bluffs passed a law probably 10, 15 years ago. They don't want any other car dealerships. So unless you're grandfathered in right now, opening up a new dealership is pretty hard.
Okay.
I have explored the option of trying Omaha, like Omaha, Bellevue area. It's just a big commitment, so we haven't done it yet. But
You mean like a second location?
yeah,
kind of
like a
thing?
second location.
Okay.
But I mean, Council Bluffs they've been good to me. So I mean, I've got a very solid group of customers that I try to treat well, and they treat me well in return. So we've never really seen the need to move.
That's a big part. I know that I've talked with other, whether it be dealers or sometimes just car salesmen, it's the repeat business.
Correct.
That, a car is, how often are you trading them in? And maybe once every 5 years or so? Is that about where that's at?
You like to see a customer go, I'd say at minimum 3 years.
Okay.
But I do have a good handful of customers that they'll drive something for a year, but between a year and 2 years, and they just get bored with it and they want something different. It's not that the car isn't capable of lasting them another 5 to 10 years. They just, drive by and see something else that they like better and want to trade it in.
Yeah,
So.
the car industry is just like pretty much any other business, that it's about truly developing a relationship with people.
Yeah.
And I would guess that there's a lot of folks that come in here, you know them by their first name.
Absolutely.
And you know more about them than just what kind of car they're looking for, because you've gotten to be friends with a lot of these people.
Yeah. So our internet guy is pretty big on that. We try to take pictures with our customers when we sell them stuff, and his slogan is, welcome to the GT family. And at first I was like, I never did that before as far as taking pictures with customers, but now it's kind of true. Every person that walks in and buys something from us, in the short amount of time they're here, you learn quite a bit about them, and a lot of people we're helping out too. So, they can respect that, and you just kind of form a bond with them. So
You and I met through Rick Graybill, Foxco Fabrication, because you commissioned him to put a big tree up out here.
Yeah, the big Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Where did that idea come from?
I've always liked the holidays and stuff. Last year we tried, I got a wild hair, and about a month before Christmas went to that at-home store, and I seen those big inflatables they had, like the 20-foot tall ones.
Just drove by one a little bit ago up in Neola, I think is where it was at.
Yeah.
Giant thing.
My business partner was with me, and I was like, we should buy 2 of these and put them on the awning. That'd be kind of cool.
Right.
And, they lasted about 4 days. And the neighbor called me and said they were in the power lines, so that didn't work out too well. And I decided last year, I actually contacted Rick last year. I was like, hey, I want to build some kind of Christmas tree that's going to be sturdy and withstand the weather. We didn't quite make it happen last year, but this year Rick definitely knocked it out of the park as far as what he was able to build me. I originally wanted to go a little bit bigger, but we kind of had to be realistic about it and scale it back some. So it's still 32 or 33 foot tall. So
is that from ground to top, or is that just the size of the tree?
That's
it's up in the air already.
That's just the size of the tree.
Okay,
so the awning it's on is probably 20 foot in the air already.
So you're up over 50 feet.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's taller than every billboard on Broadway. So
I know you can see it. You can actually, there's spots on the viaduct coming down South Expressway. You can see it. Obviously, you can see it coming either direction on Broadway.
Yeah.
So it's an attention grabber, and plus I think it's a great addition.
Yeah.
I think it adds something this time of year.
Yeah. And so like the city of Council Bluffs too is very against like flags and all sorts of stuff on Broadway as far as advertising. However, they will let me put up a Christmas tree. So that was one of the things that they said was okay. So I kind of took it to the extreme, but I think it looks good. So
I agree. It does look good. Has anybody else made any comments about it? Are people noticing it that you're seeing?
Yeah. I've had a lot of good feedback. Friends, family, customers, just random people, that have seen it. So that's nice to know that people are at least recognizing it. So.
Well, getting back to your dealership and the cars that you have here, and the folks that are coming in here looking for a car, is there some commonalities between the folks that are coming through here? Because I know we talked before that this is not a new car lot.
No.
So typically this is for a place that, someone is not looking for a new car, they're looking for a quality used car.
Correct.
So is there certain qualities that these people typically have? Because I'm wondering who we're talking to right now.
Right.
Is why I'm asking.
Yeah. I would say the top quality is probably just affordable. And the realistic reality of today is new cars are expensive. Mm-hmm. Your average new car is probably $30,000 to $50,000. And even with a good credit score and a decent chunk down, you're still going to be north of a $600 a month payment.
Right.
You know, I'm a realist. Not a lot of people can afford that for a car every month. But people still want nice cars too, you know, and not having to run credit. We do offer buy here, pay here. We do offer some bank financing as well, just to help people. Our goal is that when you walk in, you know, I don't want you to walk out without a car. But I'd say, you know, the majority of people that we deal with are good, hardworking people. They're smart enough to know that they don't want to spend a fortune on a car, and you know, they need to get back and forth to work. So, you know, the used car route is the route they usually take. So.
Well, and as I said, I mean, we can see the cars that are out here on the lot, and you can tell these are not, you know, the 20, 25
Right,
beaters.
right.
That you've got good cars here.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
people need to know that when they walk out in the morning, that this thing's going to start.
Right.
And they're going to be able to make it to work that day.
Right. I mean, like I said, my dad's been doing it 30 years. I've obviously grown up with it, so we've kind of progressed over the last 20 years that he's been doing it. You know, we started with the cheaper cars that were all, you know, $7,000 and under. Here recently, in the last 2 years, I've definitely tried to up the quality of my inventory as far as what we offer people. You know, that also reflects on price. So we've got stuff anywhere from $5,000 to, you know, $30,000, just depending on what you want. But I've really just tried to open up the range of what I'm able to offer people, as far as, you know, the nicest car at the most affordable price.
Right. So, how often are you changing over inventory? I mean, how often are you getting out to these auctions or wherever you're getting cars from? That if somebody doesn't find the car that they want on the lot now, how long should they wait before they come see you again?
Realistically, pretty quick. So I'd say we shuffle probably anywhere from 25 to 40 cars a month.
Okay.
I'm going to at least one auction a week, and I'm buying probably anywhere from 3 to 10 cars every time I go. So yeah, I mean, and I like I said, I don't search for anything at the auction. It's just kind of what catches my eye too. So I just buy a wide array of different vehicles. But if a customer were to come in and say, hey, you know, I don't have anything that, you know, I'm looking for on the lot, can you find me it? I mean, it's doable. So yeah, I mean, there's thousands of cars a week that I have access to. So if you're looking for something specific, I mean, don't hesitate to ask, because I can find it.
The website is, we're going to have right down here on the bottom of the screen, gtmotorscb.com. You've got your inventory's on there. I was looking just last night.
Yep. We're a little slow sometimes updating it. My internet guy comes in once a week, so you know, just keep in mind that some stuff doesn't even make it to the internet before it sells.
It gets sold before it even got up there.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something, definitely drive by, come in, call. I mean, we can text you pictures if that's easier. But yeah, we try to keep internet updated as much as possible, along with Facebook too. So.
Well, as long as still December and an hour far into January before you take the tree down, you're the easiest place to find on Broadway.
I might not be taking it down. It was a little hard to put up, so it might be staying up there for a little while.
Just rewrap it with some different lights.
Yeah, we'll just change the color. And
Valentine's Day, you can go red and white, and then just kind of keep changing it up for St. Patrick's.
I think it might be a permanent display. So
that might be a good idea.
I don't know what the city's going to think about that, but we might just leave it up there.
Well, they'll get over it. He's Garrett, and we are at GT Motors, the 20th block on Broadway, Council Bluffs, south side of Broadway. Very easy to find. Stop in, talk to Garrett or anybody else.
Look for the big Christmas tree.
Big Christmas tree. That's the one. All right. Appreciate you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Mackenzie Shelton with Prairie and Pine Real Estate Group, Keller Williams, Greater Omaha, has the expertise and the knowledge to be able to help you, whether you're buying on the Iowa side of the river, on the Nebraska side of the river. She has offices in Council Bluffs and also in Omaha and Lincoln. And in fact, she lives on an acreage outside of Council Bluffs, to the east of Council Bluffs. So, you know, she's very, very familiar with everything that's going on in the market, and things can change rather quickly. And that's why you need somebody with a lot of knowledge in your corner. So go to prairieandpinerealestategroup.com, set up an appointment to talk with Mackenzie and her team, and find out a little bit more about how this group can help you in buying a home or selling a home. And Service Master Restore by Schmader, that is Cindy Schmader, and she's the number you need when you wish you didn't need to make the call, because when disaster strikes, Service Master Restore by Schmader is the ones that are going to be there to help you put your life back together. It could be a fire, could be a flood. I know that when the tornadoes hit, she was very, very busy. So go to servicemasterrestore.com and just look up Omaha or Council Bluffs, and Cindy's contact information will all come up there. And just keep that handy because, as I said, it's kind of like your own little insurance policy that when you need the help, you know that the help will be there. Well, we have reached the end of another week, and it just seems like we are on a fast track right into Christmas. It's less than 2 weeks away. I'm really looking forward to it. Programming note, and this is still a couple of weeks away or just a little bit shy of it, but we won't be putting a show out on Christmas Day and also not putting a show out on New Year's Day, but we will be making sure that we cover everything in the meantime, let you know what's going on in the area, and also would love to be able to hear from you. So if you have an idea that you would, someone you would like to see as a guest on the show, if they have a nonprofit, they can come on for free. I would love to be able to talk to them. Send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com. Also, keep those likes and shares coming. That helps with the algorithm, and that makes it so more people can see it. You know, there's still a lot of folks that don't even know the show exists, and how can they find out? Well, it's with your help. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it's a way to be able to help this show grow and to be able to spotlight all of the positive things that are going on in Council Bluffs, Pottawatomie County, and across Southwest Iowa. I hope you have a great weekend. I know I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll see you back here on Monday morning. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you then.